Hello, John Whaley, aka Johnny Profit, your social economic translator, here today with the 5 top reasons most small businesses fail. Okay, so you don't have to look too far to see statistics all over the internet that express something in the neighborhood of 70% of all small businesses fail within 5 years. It's usually like the major talking points for people who want to go out and tell you why you need their service, because without them, you're going to be one of the 70% that fail. Could be, maybe not. I don't know. But the point is, there are some things that over the years I've definitely discovered lead to the failure of said company. So when it comes to the top 5 reasons small business owners / entrepreneurs or whatever just don't seem to make it, they don't scale up, they can't really get in there and just make the market do what they want it to do, is because they make a few simple but hard to overcome mistakes because of the type of advice that's in the market on how to start a business and how to grow a business. The number one reason small businesses fail way too often has to do with you listen and follow the wrong people. Sounds kind of like, what? So many times you're following people simply because they put MBA behind their name, they're an attorney, they're a doctor, a lawyer, they're CEO of said corporation, they've done all these magical things, but what you fail to understand is that means absolutely nothing to you. Think about this. So what if you have a master's in business administration? It doesn't matter if you've been the VP of banking for 85 years. It doesn't matter if now you got 6 million followers. How does that relate to you? Because at the end of the day, you have to go out and find someone that's like-minded with similar situations that you've been through. See, there's nothing worse than watching someone follow a single person traveling the world, hyping up how awesome business is and how they're doing it big, when I'm like, how are you going to follow them? You have 2 kids and a husband. You have 2 kids and a wife. You have a kid and how are you going to follow them? They're giving you these great examples, but they just jumped on a plane and left. It was a decision they made, a decision you made. No one's at fault. We're not blaming anyone here. We're just saying, think it through. If I want to run like really fast around a track or drive a car really fast or fly a plane exceptionally well or do anything, I'm not going to go get it from somebody that is either, they're not me. Taking advice from an individual, any individual, that you can't look at them and say, hey, I see you've walked in my shoes. I want to walk in yours now. You've experienced what I've experienced. You've been there. I want to follow you. Will you help me? Will you mentor me? Versus just going out and grabbing anybody that's self-proclaiming their greatness online. That's why so many businesses fail, is because they're following people that are flat out just embellishing on the fact that greatness is great and they're great. You to go out and follow an individual that is showing you fancy cars and fancy houses and all this fancy stuff, when in reality, you really don't know how they got it. So the fact that if you do what they tell you to do, you may have what they already have, that's not very accurate, okay? The second reason why a lot of small business owners fail, why a lot of entrepreneurs just don't make it, it has everything to do with you network with the wrong people. You're investing your time, your energy, your money, and all kinds of other resources. You're away from family, you're away from friends, you're not taking care of yourself, you're not working out, you're not eating right, because you feel like you have to be out in the streets networking. Got people out here talking about how to be a professional networker, how to shake hands and get it going. And look, I'm all for meeting up with like-minded folks. But the majority of the events that I have the opportunity to go to, and it's a lot, unfortunately, at times, it's usually like a group of individuals that are really, really hungry and lost. Like they're looking for anybody that'll buy their widget, that'll order their new program, that'll just please, somebody in here, I have cards. Take my card. Take it. Take the card. Just put me in your database and start spamming me tomorrow. So I encourage you, if you're going to network smart. Okay, it just like being out there, just to say you're at said chamber, said association of whatever, association of business people, completely pointless. To avoid failure, make sure that when you decide you're going to network, you have an exact intention. You know who's going to be there. You know who might be there. You've already looked them up on LinkedIn. You've already Googled them. You have target in sight. Fox 2. You show up, you go for the target. You go right in there and you say, hey, glad you're here. Probably the only time we get to hang out. Have a few cocktails, have a few sodas, have some lemon water, whatever. Break the ice, get to know each other. The point of networking is for people to get to know you. Get to see what your work ethics are about. Get to see what your skill sets are about. Get to see how you mix and mingle together. So when it comes time to networking, There's a lot of different ways I can say this, but I'm trying to be as PC as possible for a lot of reasons. But when it comes to networking, make sure that you're spending your time around individuals that are not just hungry and lost, not just looking for somebody that can give them a magic pill to make their business succeed. There's groups around your area, if not create your own, of go-getters, of people that are achieving big things, not saying and doing the same thing over and over again. Each week you come back, what happened? Well, the market. Well, yeah, did that happen to you? That happened to me too. Whoa, wow, gee. You must find a network that's worth being around. So number 3, we see this a lot. Small business and a lot of entrepreneurs fail because they really think it's about them. They really do. I'm not kidding. Listen, it's not about you. I know you think it's about you. If it's about you, then it's going to be a hobby or your mission. There's nothing wrong with you working your hobby or your mission. See, the reason I'm so hard on passionate people, with passion, everything is awesome. Passion is just like pretty colors on the wall. Passion is your heart and doing what is so important to you. The market doesn't care. The market does not care. People fail to understand that passionate people typically only make it when somebody with skill and direction comes into their life. Until then, with passionate people, everything is awesome. Everything's a new experience. Everything's about just, wow, don't you love it? The color red. I'm so passionate about it. My whole business is about the color red. So when it comes to the 4th reason a lot of small businesses fail, hate to say this, is because typically they do a whole lot of complaining, a whole lot of excuse making, and then they just simply settle. Now, I know that's hard to believe because you're not complaining, you're just saying. And I know I'm not talking about you when you're sitting up there posting all these things about how people can't figure it out. People don't know how good they could be. They could be as good as me if they were just good as me. If everybody could be as good as me and I could be that good and everybody. I know, that's not you. But the point is, you waste so much time. The opportunity cost, there's that word again. The opportunity cost of investing all that time and energy trying to drag someone along that doesn't want to go with you, it's just not a responsible thing to do with your time and energy. Find like people that want to run with you, that want to run the same speed, the same direction, the same cadence, because then if you slow down, they can bring you up. If they slow down, you can bring them up. You don't have the resources to drag an entourage along and hopes that one day they believe, they get it. Now you're going to succeed because your team is on the same page. No. So when it comes to this whole complaining, excuse making, and settling thing so you got to stop with all this hustle and grind and all this, man, I'm so tired. I work 95 hours a day. I'm going to tell you, when I'm like watching the CEO of said company on CNBC, I've yet to hear anybody making real money sit up there and talk about how they're hustling and grinding. Maybe they edit that part out like I'll edit stuff out of mine. But the reality of it is, you're not going to find people that are successful sitting around talking about the struggle. The struggle is usually real because of the simple saying that I usually say before the show and after the show. If first you don't succeed, you're doing it wrong. Number 5. So number 5 is one of those situations where it's very, very, very touchy, and I have to be very, very, very careful when I say this. So I say this with nothing but love. Sort of. Look, when it comes to you starting a business, and you going out there and you really want to make it work, along the lines of it's not about you, when it comes to your part in the business, do you actually bring any new value to the market? The market that wants to go to work and get credit cards and bundle all that money up and send it to you? Do you really bring any new value to the market? So when most people enter a market, they're entering at the commodity stage. At the commodity stage, there's low barriers of entry. Now, if you want to be a speaking guru, book writing, certified life coach, real estate agent, MLMer, and you just name it, it's easy now. You take a couple courses, you pay a couple $100, you get some papers, you go online, you publish a book, because inside of everybody there's a book within inside of you. But the thing is, if that book inside of you was inside of you the whole time, and you don't have any sales from just your life experience alone, in other words, if nobody's reading you when you walk up to them, why do you think they're going to read you when you put it on paper? I'm just saying. just the messenger. Stop with the nonsense of thinking that just because you're excited about something that you're bringing something to the market that the market actually needs. Okay? Real successful people, whether it's Trump, Buffett, whoever, learn one thing. Markets have needs, you cater to that need, they go to work every day, they come back, they give you the money to satisfy that need. Again, know the difference between a business and a movement. So again, with number 5, this is where that whole saying that I love to repeat over and over again, that accounting will make you rich, but economics will make you wealthy. This is the part where I need you to understand and you to share with your friends and share with your network so you can say, hey, you know what? I love that the accounting is really affecting that bottom line. You're doing great. Look at you just slashing cost and making a difference. But we have to go learn some economics because there's deals going on all around the world in which there's huge ponds for our business to fish in. So we can't just sit here in this tiny little market and call ourselves superstars on Facebook when in reality, there's a whole ocean of consumers out there, a whole ocean of B2Bs there to serve consumers out there. And you're stuck in your little area. All right, so I'm Johnny Profit. Those are the 5 top reasons I've found that small businesses just fail. They don't make it. It just makes me want to be just like, because at the end of the day, you're only as good as what you know, and you're only as great as who's there to help you. So again, if you're struggling right now and you're going to all these events and you're handing out business cards and you're meeting people and you're doing the same thing over and over again and you're still not seeing success, it's time to change something up. All right, so that was the top 5 reasons. Hope you enjoyed it. Hope it helped a little bit. Again, I'd love for you to subscribe because as you subscribe, I know maybe I'm saying something you like, maybe not. If so, please put questions and comments down below. Subscribe to the page. I'm trying to build up a following of say more than I had yesterday. So with that said, remember, at first you don't succeed, it's because you did it wrong. But the cool thing about it is we're all plugged into the internet. That's how you're watching it. So when you finish this video, whatever question you had that's been plaguing you, there's probably another video online, and soon I'll make one to go along with it. And there's definitely Google search that will help you find a white paper, a professor has written it, an expert in the field has written something or did a video about something. Look, you're gonna always be the smartest person in the room as long as you know which question to ask. I'm John Whaley, aka Johnny Profit. Thanks for listening to another episode of Executive Entrepreneur Thinking Video.